allow yourself to grieve. Allow yourself to grieve, for real. All right, so I fell into this pit one time when I lost my dad. Okay, so the thing is, I lost my dad. Some years later I lost my mom. Some years later I lost my sister. Right. Okay, so when I lost my dad, I think I grieved properly, but when I lost my mom, I didn't want to grieve. I was trying to like contain it, right? I thought I was doing myself good to contain it, be strong, and all of those things. Everyone kept saying, "Be strong, be strong." So I was trying to be strong, not knowing that I was doing myself a disservice, right? Holy Spirit, we're about to start another episode, and I pray you grant me the grace, put the words in my mouth and the right things to say, and help me, Lord, to impact your people, even as I do this in Jesus' name. Amen and amen. Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we'll be talking about something entirely different, something that I feel like a lot of people go through, but most people don't talk about it, which is pain, heartbreaks, pain, and all of those kind of energy. The truth is, a lot of people see pain and energy as a negative thing they prefer not to talk about, but that is not true, because eventually it depends on the angle you are coming from. The truth is, when it comes to things like pain and heartbreaks, people rarely talk about the pains and the heartbreaks they are going through, because in this part of the world and some places also in general, they shy away from it because it's either you're being shamed for it or people look at you weird when you're talking about the pains you're going through. So what most people do these days is they either contain this pain, or they cover it, or they hide it and just die in it without even realizing that they are dying in pain, right? So today we'll be talking about steps, realistic steps on how to heal from pain. It is one thing to go through pain, it is one thing to be heartbroken, it is one thing to experience this downtime, it is another thing to heal from this downtime, because healing is one thing that we need, that a lot of people did not realize that they need. And when you go through their life, or when you walk with them, you realize that they are acting or they are behaving from the pain that they are going through, right? Research has it that over 80% of people in our world today have been through one heartbreak or the other, or are going through pain, right? So when we are talking about pain in this essence, I'm not just talking about relationship heartbreaks, I'm not talking about friendship heartbreak. It's cut across it too, all right? We have family heartbreaks, right? We have when you lost a loved one. We have business heartbreaks, maybe when you business dives and stuff like that. So it's not just about the relationship, it's not just about a romantic interest. They have other things concerning a human that can cause heartbreak and pain, right? So in our world today, where everyone is shaming people and trying to like silence their voice from speaking the pain they are going through, how should we how should we heal and triumph this pain? Because one thing you should know is that as far as you're breathing, as far as you're human, you will go through one pain or the other. You might be heartbroken at one point in time of your life. You might go through pain. You might go through something that is going to hurt your soul, right? That is like a non-negotiable. That is a constant. But the thing you're going to tell yourself is that in as much as life is life, and in as much as I'm going through this, how am I going to contain this so it doesn't overwhelm me, right? Because it is one thing to go through this as a human, it is another thing to dominate it, contain it, and heal it, right? So speaking from my own perspective, I've been through my own fair share of life issues, heartbreaks, and pain, right? But over time, I realized that if I keep sulking and trying to play the victim card over this, no one genuinely cares. So it is left on you, the onus lies on you to work on yourself and use this pain to build your strength, and not just to use it to cover yourself. All right, so there is this popular story about a horse that fell into a hole. So this horse fell into a hole, and he tried as much as he can to come out of that hole, but it was awful. The effort he put in were not yield the results. So what he told himself is that whenever the sun come down on him, he's going to shake it off, right? Instead of the horse to just stay there and be crying wolf, he told himself that he's going to shake off every sun that falls on him, right? So what he did is that whenever the sand fell on him, he would shake it off, and the sand will become beneath him, and he will stand above the sand, right? So he kept doing this, shaking up the sand, shaking up the sand. Before you know it, he's found himself above the sand and on the ground level for him to work out. Now let's just flip the coin and assuming he was there praying and not thinking of a way out, and the sand kept coming on him and he was not shaking it off. Before you know it, the sand was going to cover him. So that is what it looks like. That is what it's like whenever you're going through pain or heartbreak. So you're going to tell yourself, majority, most often than not, people do not care. Majority of the people do not care about what you're going through, because I feel like a lot of people have one thing or the other that they are going through, right? So it's now left for you to realize that, okay, I'm a bit broken, I might be down in this area. How do I help myself from this thing that I am feeling, right? So it is now left for you to take steps on how to heal, to take steps on how to use all of this pain to build the strength that you need to become the best you. Because eventually the world is not going to remember. There are billions of people on earth. So how do you think that the world is going to ignore themselves? Normally everyone is selfish one way or the other. So how do you think someone is going to like ignore themselves, except you have friends that genuinely care about you, right? Nobody will want to like ignore themselves to come to your beck and call, except you give them something that will attract them. So how about you use that pain, right, to build the strength that you need to become the better you. So without much further ado, we are going to be diving into 10 real steps on how to heal from that pain, on how to reclaim your peace, because eventually peace of mind is everything. Peace of mind is priceless. In a world as this that is noisy, where there are a lot of distractions everywhere, where it is difficult for you to get a moment of calm, reclaiming your peace and jealously guarding and protecting your peace is everything. And how do you intend to get your peace when you have not healed from the pain that is sinking deep, from the pain that is hurting you, from the pain that is pricking and poking you? Right? So it is one thing to realize you're going through pain. It is one thing to realize that you're traumatized. It is one thing to realize that you're heartbroken. And it is another thing to put in the effort to salvage yourself, to help yourself out of this pain. Definitely, it's very important. The place of friends are also there. You know, your friends helping you. The place of God is also very vital and there to heal you of your pain. But it's like someone, again, that is in a hole. If you don't stretch your hand to hold on to the hand that is trying to pull you out, there is no way that help is going to come through. So also have it at the back of your mind that you need to take the bold step of realizing that you need help yourself. Stretch out your hands, show interest of I need help myself. Okay, so the first step is to acknowledge and validate your pain. It is okay to say I am feeling pain. If you're going through any emotion or any form of feelings, I used to tell people, don't contain, don't try to suppress it, because when you try to suppress it, that's what makes it even worse. Because you keep suppressing it, one day you won't be able to take it, you just explode, right? So when you're feeling any emotion, if you're feeling sad, you're feeling anger, you're feeling what's it called, pain, you want to cry, pour out those emotions, because there is no way you are going to heal if you have not even acknowledged what you want to heal from. All right, so acknowledge and validate your pain. It is okay to feel this pain. You are a human after all. You can't lose something and expect yourself not to feel bad for that thing, except you don't care about that thing. All right, you can't. There's this popular adage in my place: you can't beat a child and expect the child not to cry. Right? If life deals you a blow, it is okay to cry. It is okay to feel sad. It is okay to feel disappointed. It is okay to acknowledge all of these emotions, right? Validate them. It is okay. That is what makes you human eventually. You are not a robot. So this second step is allow yourself to grieve. Allow yourself to grieve, for real, all right? So I fell into this pit one time when I lost my dad. Okay, so the thing is I lost my dad. Some years later, I lost my mom. Some years later, I lost my sister. Right? Okay, so when I lost my dad, I think I grieved properly. But when I lost my mom, I didn't want to grieve. I was trying to like contain it, right? I thought I was doing myself good to contain it, be strong, and all of those things. Everyone kept saying, be strong, be strong. So I was trying to be strong, not knowing that I was doing myself a disservice, right? So I kept everything in. I didn't want to cry so much. I started putting in efforts to be better. So what I was doing is that I felt the vacuum that my mom left, right? I felt the pain. So to suppress this pain, I was putting my body and my mind into work. I was overworking myself, doing everything to keep my mind busy, doing everything to keep my body busy, so I won't think about it. Not knowing that I was hurting myself, not knowing that I was slipping into depression, not knowing that I was causing my heart the biggest pain and the biggest heartache, right? So when it dawned on me was when I realized that I was slipping deep into the dark hollow of depression. That was when it dawned on me that I haven't actually grieved, because I thought that doing that was going to help me heal faster, but no, it was like I was covering an injury with just like a thin cellophane, right? Because the truth is, when you do that, any little struggle, any little puncture is going to bring back that injury. It's going to open it all up. You need to heal. Give yourself the time to grieve. I didn't grieve properly, and that affected me the longest time, more than 2, 3 years. I didn't realize that I was sleeping deep. So allow yourself to grieve. If you want to cry, please cry. If you need a time off, take a time off. If you need a time away from work, take a time. And when we're talking about grieving, it doesn't just have to be when you lost someone, or when you lost a person, or when you, it could be even when you lost something very significant in your life, when you lost maybe a project that you're working on. It could be a job, it could be anything. Ensure that you give yourself the time to heal. You can never say that you're too strong and you want to contain it and you want to cover it. You're strong, you don't want to cry. It's a lie. You're lying to yourself. As far as you're human, when you feel pain, give yourself the permission to express the pain that you feel. That doesn't make you less of a man or less of a woman, less of a boy or less of a girl. That makes you human. It is okay to be vulnerable. But if you find yourself around people that are trying to shush you from being vulnerable, that are trying to shush you from grieving, just know that you are in the wrong place. You are in the wrong place. So allow yourself to grieve. I ignored this and I suffered in the most terrible way, right? So what I tell myself these days is that no matter what happens, and the truth is I can't control what happens in my life, right? Because life can lie sometimes and all of those things, but I can always control how I react to things that happen in my life. All right, so take the dominance of the things that happen in your life. When you want to grieve, grieve. Take a time off, clear your head, clear your mind, do all of the things you need to do to be good. Don't try to procrastinate your emotions, procrastinate your pain for later. It's going to be worse. All right, so take some time out to grieve when need be. Okay. So the third step you need to take on your healing journey is to identify your core need. What do you need in this point of time? What do you need at this point of your life that you are going through these down times? The truth is, we all go through down times. Newsflash, everybody go through down times in their different way. You might be grieving a job loss. Someone else might be grieving a project. Another person might be grieving the loss of a child. Another person might be grieving the loss of a parent, right? So everybody have their own story. The truth is, you won't realize this until you get close and hear people's story. All right, so you're not abnormal. You are totally normal. You're fine. You're going through the process of life that everyone goes through. All right, so this step is actually very vital. What do you need at this point in time? Do you need people to be close to you? Do you need to be closer to your friends? Do you need to take a vacation? Do you want to listen to music more? Do you need people to check up on you? What are the things that you need? If you need people to check up on you, it's entirely fine. Reach out to your friends or let them check up on you. So the thing is, when my mom died, right, I practically cut away from everyone, right? I practically shut the door towards my friends that were trying to check up on me. That was more or less the best way I grieve, right? Everybody have their own way of grieving, right? I try to stay by myself and cry all the cry I want to cry, or digest the scenario, digest the what's it called now, the situation and think my life through. Just that around that phase, I overdid it and did things I wasn't meant to do, like suppressing the emotions and the like. It was during the third trial that I was open to letting friends check up on me, right? During my sister's pass on, right? So what are those things that you need, right? What are those things that you need in these trying times? If it is to let your friends be there for you, fine. If it is to eat, because there are some people that stress eat. There are times that I'll be too stressed and all I just want to do is eat, 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 and eat, right? They're stressed and all I just want to do is play music and scream and sing. I just do a solo karaoke. So it depends on what you need. Identify those core things that you need and do them, especially if they are legal, things that are good both in the sight of God and man. You won't sell because you're grieving the loss of someone or the loss of anything. You start smoking or doing things that are contrary against your belief and your person. As far as the illegal, it is okay to identify your core needs. All right, so moving on to the next step. So the fourth step is build your healing sanctuary. Okay, to break down this big English, it just means find a comfort zone where you can just stay and declutter your mind, feel alright, and build yourself, right? To some people it differs, right? To some people it's maybe their place of worship. To some people it's maybe among their friends, right? To some it is that one room in their house where they just relax, declutter, feel alright, and refresh themselves. To some it is by going to the library. To some it is by working. To some it is by doing all of those their little habits, or what's it called now, little hobby. To some it is by going to the gym. I think this gym thing is actually a popular thing when people need that form of comfort or want to go back to their safe haven where they feel alright, they go to the gym. So find your healing sanctuary, that place that when that place that you know that when you go to it, you just feel alright, you just feel good, you just feel refreshed, you just declutter and you forget every other thing happening in the world and you just feel yourself, build your energy, and you feel alright. So find it. Everyone has it, right? Everyone has. I believe when you take each and every of the step by step, you'll be getting answers to all of these steps. Find your healing sanctuary. If it is by writing a book and pouring out your thoughts, that is entirely fine. That is your healing sanctuary. If it is with your diary, that is also fine. Pouring out whatever it is. If it is those your hobby that you feel like when you do it, you feel alright, you feel alive, you feel good, do it. Find your sanctuary and stick with it, right? So moving on to the next step, the fifth step that you need to take on your healing journey to be perfectly alright and heal, practice radical self-compassion. I feel like a lot of people fall short in this. It is always easy for us to what's it called now, sympathize with a friend that is going through pain, but when it comes to yourself, you become difficult, you become harsh and mean to yourself. Why? I mean, the Bible says that you should love your neighbor just as you love yourself, the same way you love yourself. But the truth is, when it comes to the action part, a lot of people love their neighbors more than they love themselves, right? If your friend or your neighbor is going through pain, I'm sure you would mean so well. You want to be there for your neighbor or your friend. You want to care. You want to carry their burden. You show up and everything. You want to offer them love. You want to offer them affection. You want to give them food, check up on them. But when you are going through similar case, you forget yourself entirely. That is when you start speaking negative talks on yourself. That is when you start sulking. That is when you start being negative. That is when you start hating on yourself. That is when you stop taking care of yourself mentally, physically, and otherwise. Alright? So when it comes to love, it's not just all about giving it out. You need the love too. Always remember yourself when you are going through this downtime to give yourself the love. Even if nobody is showing up, show up for yourself. Do away with the negative self-talk. Even if you that moment you be like, I'm tired, I'm weak. Force yourself, right, to say all of this positive things to yourself. You know, there is something I used to say that the brain does not know what is a joke and what is true, right? So even if you don't feel like it, be positive. Proclaim those positive things to yourself. Be nice to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Take yourself out if you can afford it. Treat yourself with the same kindness that you would treat a friend that is going through the pain that you are going through. It is you. If you don't love yourself so much, who is going to love yourself more? The truth is, nobody will love you more than you love yourself. All right. So people are going to reciprocate the love they see you give unto yourself. All right. So without beating this too much, let's just move to the next step. Set firm boundaries. I have to spill this one after the other because the truth is, what I have noticed is that we are always quick to talk about boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. Everyone knows about setting boundaries. But when it comes to the action part, people become scared. People shy away from setting boundaries, maybe because they don't want to offend someone, or maybe because they'll feel bad when somebody gets to realize they are setting boundaries. Trust me when I say this. You should love yourself enough to set boundaries. You should love yourself enough to set boundaries. It is not a sin, it is not a crime to set boundaries, my darling. Right? Especially if it is the thing, or what's it called now, an association, or people or things that is draining your energy, that is becoming toxic to you, that is a negative energy, that is a spiritual minus, mental minus, anything that is draining your energy or not in line with your values and principle has to go. Don't be so scared that you're going to be alone in the world, or will you find someone else like them and all of those things while you are suffering. You're letting people disrespect your boundary, mess your mind up at the expense of you're scared of being alone. Trust me when I say this. There are billions of people in the world. There are billions of people in the world, and you can always meet like-minded people if you give yourself an open mind, if you trust yourself enough to know that, okay, I can let this thing go because it is not paying me, and I trust and I know that I am going to meet other people that will be in same line as the path that I'm going through in life. Don't be scared of saying no. Don't be scared of setting boundaries, healthy boundaries most especially. All right? Especially those ones that are in line with your path in destiny. Don't sacrifice your peace at the table of friendship that doesn't pay you but drains you. All right? Have the courage to set boundaries. Have the courage to say no. Have the courage to say yes to yourself. All right? So moving on to the next step. So the seventh step is reconnect with your body. I think this is where a lot of people realize that they have passion for going to the gym, right, or working out, because the truth is, pain has a way of disconnecting us with our body, right, and we just neglect ourselves and we become either a couch potato or something that is out of character for us. Pain has a way of doing that because it just messes with our mind and messes us all up. All right. So in this step of reclaiming your peace, in this step of reclaiming yourself, in this step of healing from this heartbreak and this pain, reconnect with your body. Is it to take a moment for a walk? Is it to go to a nature park and just feel the grass? Is it to take some moment off to just walk out? Is it to take some moment off? Is it to take some moments off the social media, off your phone, off the internet, and just connect with friends on a physical level? Do what you have to do to reconnect with yourself. All right, do what you have to do to find yourself again. Do what you have to do to get back in track with who you used to be. The pain you are going through right now, the reactions you're giving off because of this pain is not you. It is not you at all. You're just reacting from the pain, from the trauma you've been through. This isn't you. Reconnect with your body. Reconnect with the you that you know is you. All right? Seek safe support. It's fine to open up to someone that you trust, because the truth is, a lot of people skip this part. Most importantly, I don't blame them, because in our world today, everybody sees everything as content creation. Everybody sees everything as a content for the social media. So there is no privacy anymore, there is no trust, there is no integrity. So I understand the parts where people might be scared of opening up to people, and tomorrow they are waking up to what they said to the person online on the social media. So people would now have opinion to their pain, or mock their pain, mocking the pain they don't understand. So I understand that part, right? I feel this is where professional help comes in place. Seek therapy. in our part of the world, people don't believe in therapy. In all honesty, when you mention what's it called now, therapy to a random or a regular parent, they'll be like, "What is this one talking about? What is therapy?" Right? But truth is, I love the fact that these days I hear one too many times in movies. I watch movies where people now mention therapy. People now talk about therapy. So it is okay to go for therapy. It is okay to consult with professionals. It is okay to talk to people that you can trust. You can't just open your wound to anyone. Because one thing about these things is once you say it, it is already out there. You can't reclaim what you've said. So think this through before opening up to someone. Don't just open up to anyone that is going to mock your pain, ignore your pain, or make you worse. Open up to people that you know that they genuinely care about your well-being, they genuinely care about your growth, they genuinely care about the things you're going through, that even if they don't offer the help to you at that point in time, they'll be able to extend the hand, lend the helping hand to see you through moving or coming out of the pain you're going through. Because the truth is, when we are confiding in friends that we help, it's not all the time that they will readily have the help to give to us. Right? It's not all the time that they will have the provision, the help that we need at that point in time. But there are definitely diamonds as friends that would want to seek help for us. Like when you mention, I'm going through this, blah, 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 and they don't have it, they'll reach out to someone else while protecting you without bringing you in the picture, right? So they want to like walk with you on your healing journey. So it depends on the kind of association, the kind of friends that you have. You can't just open up to anyone. You have to know the kind of people that you are working with, that you are opening up to. Someone that has your trust, not a random person that would post your pain, right, on social media just for the likes and the comments and the fandom and the famsing and every other thing. Okay, so moving on to the next step. The ninth step is find small moments of joy. You know, I believe that in every dark cloud, there is always a silver lining if you look well enough. You know, there's this law of attraction that says that when you start focusing on something, okay, let's say when you start obsessing about red bags, subconsciously you start seeing red bags wherever you go. Subconsciously. Does that mean that the red bags weren't there all along? They were there. It's just that you were not thinking about the red bags. That is why your brain was not saving the red bags. But immediately you start thinking about the red bags, you start seeing red bags. Alright? So to everything that happens to you, you can either see the negative in them or the positive. And I admonish you, it is not easy. It is not easy at all. It is something that I've been trying, right? I wouldn't say that I am 100% good at it yet, but I try. I intentionally tell myself, okay, this might be happening now, but try to see the silver lining. Try to see the good side of it. Trust me, when you do that, it practically changes and rewires your brain, and it makes you more positive than negative. Because one thing I know about negative energy, it drains and turns everything into a dark and gloomy world. But when you see even the smallest thing, sorry, so when you see the joy or the humor, even in the smallest thing, while going through that dark phase, it rewires your brain and changes everything. So always try to ensure that you see the silver lining, you see the humor, you see the joy, even in the littlest thing, even when you're going through any dark phase. See the joy in the smallest things. All right. So moving on to the next and the final step, the 10th step on how to reclaim your peace, heal from your broken heart and pain, is redefine your story. Like I used to say, you can't predict what happens to you. Life will always life. Trials will always come. Tribulations, temptations, and all of those things will always come, right? But you can always rewire, you can always change your reactions to this. Your story is yours to write. Alright, you can beautify the story with everything that comes your way, or you can make it a horror movie. right? So, in summary, the truth is the journey to healing isn't linear. Some days are good, some days are bad. There is no perfect story, there is no perfect journey, right? There is no story that doesn't have scars, there is no story that doesn't have downtimes, there is no story that doesn't have its bumps and all of those things, right? But what makes the difference is the perspective you're bringing to it. What makes the difference is how you decide to spice this thing up. Everybody's going through this. It's not just you, all right? So it is okay for you to go through this, all right? But don't let it overwhelm you. This is a journey that I feel like when you take time to digest it and go through it, you will surmount it. You will overcome it. You will come out victorious. All right, so I'm rooting for you. I'm also going through my healing journey. I won't say that I am 100% perfect now, but at least I'm making intentional effort to heal. I'm making intentional effort to be the best that I can be. I'm making intentional effort to reclaim my peace. And I believe that this is something you can do too. If I can do it, you can do it. All right, so I believe that when you take this step, each and every step accordingly, your story will definitely be different. There will be something that you have learned on the long run after all of this. Okay, so this is where I'm going to wrap up for today's video. If you have learned something, please, I would love you to drop it in the comment section. If you have steps that you take yourself while you're going through pain to heal yourself of every pain and heartbreaks, please do well to drop it in the comment section. I'll be reading. Other people will be reading as well to pick one or two lessons that they will also utilize in their own life. All right, so I'm going to see you on my next one. Remember, my name is Luchi Sam and this is Luchi's Journal, and on this space we do everything self-development, life issues, and every other thing in between. I also share my growth journey on this space every Friday, and every other days I do dailies. So please like this video, drop your comments, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. You're missing if you haven't subscribed already. Please do subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I drop any video, and please don't forget to engage my dailies. All right, so I'm going to see you on my next one, and until then, please do take care of yourself. Toodles.